You are listening to Artist on Record, ADIKA Live, the podcast. Today's guest, Cheetah Chrome of the Dead Boys. All right, welcome back to Artist on Record, your ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. Today in the hot seat, the one and only, the original, Mr. Cheetah Chrome. He's in the hot seat of the Dead Boys.
That's where I want to fucking be, is in the hot seat. I've been in the hot seat the whole fucking week.
You are in the hot seat, you know.
I know, man. I don't know. Shit exploded on me, you know.
Well, you know what? This will be in a members only VIP. They'll get to see the stuff that other people won't get to see, and then I'll take things and we'll put it out there, and I'll edit it before it goes out. So you like it too.
You got it before, man. I trust you.
All right, I want it to look good for you as well. So anyway, Cheetah, man, it's been hard to get you on this show. You know, you've been phone tagging each other.
All that, and I keep hurting myself, and you know, I lose phones, and you know, I'm an old mess, you know.
I'm a mess too.
I'm a wreck in progress.
Let me tell you something. Together, if we were roommates, we'd be all the way. Cheetah, man, it's been hard to get you on this show. You know, you've been phone tagging each other.
All that, and I keep hurting myself, and you know, I lose phones, and you know, I'm an old mess, you know.
I'm a mess too.
I'm a wreck in progress.
Let me tell you something. Together, if we were roommates, it'd be awful. I just lost my truck keys, and my wife's yelling at me. And I feel like I'm like,
I threw mine out.
I feel like I'm going senile, like I'm losing my mind.
No, you never know, man. I'm going to do 70 next year, so
God bless you, man.
Not big of a leap to think that.
God bless you. You know, so man, you know what? I remember when I was living in New York City, I used to see you around like the Limelight days. Me and I don't know if you know Ryan that plays guitar for Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
Ryan
I remember.
We were roommates, and I was working at Circus Magazine, and I'd be at the Limelight. I'd bump into you. I'd see you around, and there was two guys in New York City that I would be always nervous of. That when you guys walked down the street, it looked like you guys were going to kill. It was you and another guy was on Fifth Avenue. Was Dee Ramone. I remember seeing Dee walking down the street, and he was like crazy. And I go, I saw you, Dee walking down the street. What was that about? He goes, I didn't want people to look at me, so I made sure they thought I was crazy.
It's an old jailhouse trick, man. You know, you look crazy, I'll be able to leave you alone.
So is that what you used to do? You made sure you're extra crazy?
Yeah, you know, it's just a way to keep people away from me. It's more, you know, it's more of an. I mean, I was crazy, you know. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But I was way nicer than I looked. You know, all I had to do was say hi, and I'd, you know.
You're really cool.
But no, Lower East Side was a rough place back then. Nowadays, you can walk around at 4 a.m. naked and nobody cares.
It's a different world now, New York City. Let's go back now to your world. When you first got into New York City, what got you there? What brought you there? Did you go there with the Dead Boys originally, or you went there before by yourself?
Well, when Rocket from the Tombs broke up, there's a period where we went through our Frankenstein period, which only lasted about 3 months and 3 gigs, you know. And we broke up, and the same members decided, you know, Steve in the meantime took a trip to New York City while we were off time and scoped it out. It was like, yeah, there's people like us there. We got to go there, you know. So we were like, hell yeah, why not? You know, we've got to lose. So we met the Ramones at the Tomorrow Club. They talked to Hilly, or Joey did, and told him that we had opened up for them and he'd send us play, which we had never done. We just flat out lied to Hilly.
So wait, they didn't even know what you sounded like? Joey just lied?
We sounded like we didn't have to do an audition night.
Wow. So
our first gig in New York was an actual real gig. And then, you know, Joey brought all the people from, like, you know, Legs and people from Punk Magazine. I mean, Joey did a real serious solid there. You know, we could have tanked, you know. But, you know, and then we became friends with all the Ramones. You know, met all these people that first night. Dee gave Steve a knife, you know. The famous 007, like Sid killed Nancy with.
So that's true. That's a true, because I asked Dee, and Dee, you know, with Dee, I can never know the truth. So Dee really did give the knife that killed Nancy Spungen. Is that
I
that?
don't know about that because I mean, DD always carried a 007. Apparently, he bought them as he
Hmm,
gave them away, you know. But he gave Sid one, so very easily could have given
it could have.
Sid one, you
It could
know.
have been.
I mean, but he always still had one, so
Wow. Wow. That's
he
funny you
liked those
mentioned that.
knives.
You know, Cheetah, it's funny you mentioned because when I went to Mexico with Didi, he would go looking on the streets. This is wonderful. And he'd look at all these little knives. And I'm like, but
I
back,
still do that on the road, man. I'm a big knife guy. I love knives.
you know, it's crazy. Back then when we went, this is before 9/11. So I remember Didi buying the knives and we go through the plane with them. And even I had my base and the wire cutters, but a week before, it was 2 weeks before 9/11. And I was always able to walk through the plane. That one time coming back into the States from
Yeah,
Mexico, they wouldn't let me bring my wire cutters. It's like almost they knew something. I'm not trying to make conspiracy show here, but
yeah, but no,
it was
it's
weird.
weird.
It
Well,
was
that
weird.
is weird. I mean, plenty of people knew about this shit beforehand.
I think so. I think so because I remember coming back. I remember saying to Didi, I go, Didi, this is so fucking weird. I can't get on the plane. They took my wire cutters, and me being an erotic Jewish guy, I was all like crazy. I was like, they took my wire cutters. But yeah, that's what happened.
How is it being an erotic Jewish cat?
It's like Larry David. I'm like Larry David with tattoos. It's
I'm like, I'm so happy I'm Irish right now. You know?
yeah. So wait a second. So now let me go. I go all over the map. So you showcase this gig. So Joey doesn't even know what you guys sound like, and when you did
No,
the
but we hung out. We impressed him.
you impressed him. What were the songs? Did you have your songs written, or you
We
did
had to
covers?
fucking finish a lot of them.
So they weren't
The
finished.
gig was like in 3 weeks.
Wow,
You
wow.
know,
So you
so we had to
rushed the
go in
set.
and like we had a cram for that because the band wasn't even really together at that point. Me and Blitz weren't even talking.
Wow, wow.
And we all were like, Stiff had us all meet him at the airport when he came back from New York. We sat at the bar and he goes, "Oh, look, there's people. I found a place. There's people like us there. You should try going there." You know, it was almost like Star Trek. You know,
Was it?
and and then we went boom. And I called Blitz. You know, I mean, all of us there. I hadn't seen Blitz in like 3 months, and Stiff called each of us individually and said, I need a ride from the airport. So we all showed up at the airport bar going, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And Stiff had a band meeting with us. We went to New York.
Wow, wow. That was
Yeah,
it.
Stiff was a schemer. He was a smart kid, you know.
Well, who were
He
you?
was 6 years older than I was.
Who were you living with when you moved to New York? Where were you guys living? Did you?
Our friend James Slyman had a place up there. It's like one of those. It was on 9th Street. It was like one of the railroad flat, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And bathtub in the kitchen, the whole bit, full toilet, And God, we went up there and we stayed. The first time we went, we stayed in a hotel. I can't even tell you how I got there. I indulged theft. Okay, from a corporation that I happened to work at the time, but I got us to New York, and we all pitched in. But I mean, that's how I paid for my end. And
Yeah.
it was, we stayed at the we stayed at the Taft Hotel.
Wow,
You
I
know,
know
the
that.
reason we even knew about it because Jimmy had stayed there with his parents or something one time before. So we stayed at the Taft Hotel the one time. We got in the night before, hung out, went down to CBGB's, came back, slept, played the next day, and drove home. Made $27.
$27
Righteous money, man.
for back then. I mean,
Yeah.
what a vibe. I mean, for people, for nowadays, for people who are watching this, New York City. I mean, that was a turn of the music scene. Like, you have later on the grunges and all that stuff, but
Oh,
that
it
was
was
a big.
amazing.
That
To
was an
walk into
amazing.
from Cleveland, walking into CBGB's and just getting to, see all this shit was for real. It was home. The minute I walked in, I was like, do I have to go home? I could just stay here.
Is a city that never sleeps.
Yeah, back then it was.
Yeah, I mean, you had all different types of. We had Max's Kansas City
We're
going on.
talking like a taxi driver in New York.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Not like it is now. We're talking. This was right after Taxi Driver came out, so I mean, it was everything was still there.
Were you okay? So you're living in New York
Even that
City,
guy with the drums out on the
dude?
concert,
Yeah, the
yeah.
shoe
He was,
polish.
he was one of the first people I saw in New York. Was that guy from Taxi Driver playing the drums?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow, wow. I remember that he had like the shoe polish. Next on
yeah, yeah.
Buddy
He
Rich.
probably said yes, yeah. And
Totally.
he was like down the street from our hotel.
So let me ask you. So you're hanging out in New York City, the whole scene, the whole, not only just the rock, the punk, but then you had the disco coming in too. You saw all that happening. Did you ever try to
Yeah.
sneak in the
I mean, that
studio?
was later. I mean, the discos in New York, I never got to see. I don't think I got to see maybe three. I got to go to Studio 54 once.
Oh, you did go. I was going to say you're going to go for the chicks. You know, you want to see what's out there. No.
No, what was really weird was we went. It was like a Saturday Night Live thing, and Rod Stewart had been on Saturday Night Live that night, and we were walking in, and me and Peter were walking on. And Rod Stewart's coming this way, I'm going this way, and he went, "Hey, Cheetah," and I was like, "What the fuck? How the hell does Rod Stewart know who the fuck I am?" You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
That's pretty. That's
that
pretty
was the
cool.
times we were in, you know. And it was, you know, my Gita, my girlfriend, her father was a publicist, like a big one, you know. And he got me on page 6 several times. That's probably how Rod found out. I never did anything I should have said I did.
Wow.
He just called page 6 and lie because my future son-in-law or whatever, you know.
That's wild. That is really wild. So you're the Saturday Night Live connection, because Belushi was a fan of you guys. He was a big fan, and there's a video I saw online where he's playing drums with you guys.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. We hung out a lot with John. I mean, for me and him, it was more. We used to do more go out to dinner with the wives kind of thing, and every now and then do the, you know, whatever, you know. But he was, you know, it was kind of off duty with John for me. Now the other guys used to go out and fucking do all kinds of crazy shit. I guess.
Yeah.
You know? But I mean, I've always been kind of a homebody. I was leaving home, my girl, my TV, and my guitar. You know.
So would you hanging out Belushi was more like dinner normal? It was a normal situation.
Yeah.
What was he like? Yeah. What was he like?
Having his place on Carmine Street. You know, he used to have a studio down there, and he was a pretty good meat and potatoes blues drummer. You know, I mean, you know, he could definitely keep a beat. He definitely knew what he was talking, you know, doing. He knew the blues like inside out. So we used to go down there and jam just for the hell of it, you know, get away from the wine. So
Yeah.
But I mean, then when it came time to, you know, Blitz got stabbed. We, you know, thought John plays drums. Let's get him up for one. You know, he volunteered his services. Let's see if he can play Sonic and do so. And the cool thing about it was that he actually did a really good job on stage. I mean, he was, you know, it was small, but he used it for comedy. You know, but he pulled it off. I thought it was brilliant. I mean, that's the kind of, you know, that's the kind of guy he was. He was, you know, he was always watching people. You know, you could tell he was, you know, taking notes. You know,
Yeah.
He was always an actor.
He knew. I mean,
he was cool. He was learning all the time.
That video of him playing with you guys, it sounded like great. It really was a cool.
It didn't really suffer the performance. He was the only one who suffered. You know, the rest of us were all fine. And because he was actually keeping a pretty real steady beat.
Yeah.
You know? But it was funny. He was doing some of those roles. We got to that middle part and he started trying to do those roles. It was great.
Oh, it was a lot of what happened now. Wait, Blitz got stabbed. So what's the whole story with that situation?
No, Google it, man. I don't want to talk about it.
All right. You're making me come on, but the people watching, can you give me like a short second? What happened? Like
after a gig, we started Mike and Mike Sticker, Rody, and Johnny went by Deli Stop, which was like down the street from Fifth Street and Second Avenue, you know.
Yeah.
And they went down there and got, you know, we all went home, and then the next thing I know, like an hour later, I get a phone call. Johnny's in the hospital. He's been stabbed, and I guess some idiots, Virgin Tone guys, are possibly with links to you know who, you know. Uh, they had swerved at him, and they said "fuck you," and four of them jumped out. One of them with a baseball bat, and they used to do that place, Little Peter's,
Hmm.
right on the corner from Subatuba's, and on Fifth Street there,
Yeah.
and it was like a block from the 82 Club, you know. And they, one of the guys, I guess apparently they had a connection to Little Peters, but anyway, one of the guys hit Johnny in the head with a baseball bat while he was
Oh,
chasing him with a knife, and he ended up stabbing him with his own knife, and it was fucked up. It was like 16 times. It was a mess.
wow.
He was DOA. They brought him back.
Whoa.
Dr. Rick brought him back.
Dr. Rick. It's like a fucking movie.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking crazy movie. You ever get approached to do a movie? Anybody ever come up to you?
Yeah.
Biopic?
I
Nothing.
couldn't act to save my ass. I wouldn't have minded being on Sons of Anarchy or something. But
Well, Sons of Anarchy was a great show. Nobody's ever approached to do a
one of my
biopic
favorites.
from your book or anything? Asked you to
Yeah,
do?
you know, got a couple
Yeah,
fears for that, and you know, as long as they get Leonardo to do it, you know,
yeah.
as long as Leonardo plays me, I'll be fine.
That's who you want, Leon.
No,
I mean, it's an interesting, you
I'll
think
tell you
about
the truth, man. I'd rather have my kid do it. He looks exactly like me. So,
really your kid looks
yeah.
just like you.
He's taller, but yeah, he's the
Wow.
closest thing to me on this planet. You know,
How old's your boy?
19.
19 years
He's gonna
old.
be
God bless
20.
you.
He's gonna be 20 in March.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool, man. I mean, for the Dead Boys, that band just alone, not a lot of records. It was a short career, but every song on your albums, on the studio records, they're amazing. Amazing. I had the original copies. I don't even know what happened to them.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way at the time, but
It
it has
no.
stood the test of time. So,
Oh,
you
while you
know,
were doing it, when you were writing those songs, working on those songs, did you realize like what a classic like Sonic Reducer is, or All This and More, or no?
nah, we just
No.
hope it's good.
I mean, such great songs. You
And,
know,
I mean, that was the thing. Was like, Dead Boys. The first album was collaboration between Jimmy's songs, my songs, Steve's ideas. You know, it was really organic and it was really cool because I brought a lot of my stuff I brought over from Rock from the Tombs. You know,
hmm hmm
and I mean that's how I met Steve and Jimmy. Was they came to see Rock from the Tombs. You know, and um. I mean, the amount of talent that was around Cleveland at that time was pretty amazing, and none of it developed until after we went to New York. Really. You know, I mean, there was Rockets, there was Eels, there was Mirrors, um, and there was who else? There was another band, Devo. You know,
yeah.
Broken City Rebels was still in development. They were called King Kroger at that time. But there was this whole version, bunch of bands that were all looking for something. And punk ended up being it. But we went to New York for 6 months. We came back and punk had taken over Cleveland. I mean, it was amazing. You
It
know,
just it
it was
just
like the only place in the country. We hadn't even caught on that much in New York, you know. But it was Cleveland was all over it. You know, there's still bands coming out of Cleveland that are
yeah.
great. You know, it's always been a hotbed of musicians, good ones too. You know.
Now, Rocket from the Tombs, that band wasn't around. What, a year you guys were together? How long?
Year and a half.
A year and a half. Short.
Yeah, it
Short
was like
time.
74 through August 75. Oh, no, July 75. And down there was like a 2 month period between bands, between the Rockets and Frankenstein and the Dead Boys, you know?
So now with the Dead Boys, so Hilly decided to manage you guys. What's the deal with that? Did he get you to help you get the record deal, or?
Well, he asked us if we wanted him to manage us, and
Yeah.
just decided, you know? But, yeah, you know, we were getting quoted by a lot of people back then. We had Marty Thau, we had Max's, we had a bunch of people offered us different deals. None of them had any money involved, you know, and none of them wanted to sell us to a very major label. They wanted us to be a Max's Kansas City. They wanted us to be a Red Star.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Hilly wanted to sell us to a major. And that gave him the edge right there. You know, and everybody turned us down by Sire. and Sire will buy anything. So but it helped. It did help to hold out because it we did get a nice advance. We did get tour support. We
Yeah.
did get, I mean, we didn't see much of it, but we got a whole shitload of nice equipment, and played a lot of good gigs.
Yeah,
But
I bet. Now,
Hilly was not a manager at the time. He was, and we were pretty much unmanageable. So it was a labor of love for all of us to sit down and have a band meeting, and we all kind of learned together, but the relationship grew pretty quickly,
yeah.
and it got a little bitter at the end. But after all said and done, I ended up being really good friends with Hilly later, and he was like my dad to me, he really
Yeah.
was. And I grew up without a father. I kind of needed one. And Hilly gave me some of the best advice I ever had. And he got me off drugs. I mean,
That's a tough one. He kept you in check.
he took me in a cab to rehab.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Sorry,
That's
I got fast.
Yeah, no, that's a tough one. Now, did you guys rehearse at CB's too, since you
Yeah.
owned the place?
Oh yeah. All our equipment was stored at Subi's. I mean, that was our rehearsal spot. That was,
Wow.
during the day, Dead Boys rehearsed there all the time.
Wow. So there's a lot of history in that building, man. If those walls could
They,
talk.
Charlie Martin, they would send, this, under assistant sound guy in to do the Dead Boys rehearsal.
Wow.
But yeah, we would be down there for like 5-6 hours some days.
Wow. Wow. So you leave your stuff downstairs and just bring it back up and that's it, or you left it on the stage?
Back then we could afford to have a road and just pack it up and put it in the corner,
Yeah, yeah. So cool.
Actually, there was no gigs, which is rare for Subi's, but like there would. Basically, we had it from place from like 11 in the morning till 4 o'clock.
So you had the whole place, so you could rehearse and drink at the same time, basically. It was a party. Maybe that's why those.
Right. Yes, we could just go grab a beer.
Man, I mean, maybe that's why those songs are so
we had
great.
a $10,000 bar tab in 1977.
What would Hilly say? Would he say, "What the hell are you guys doing? You're drinking me into dead here"? No, he was okay.
Write it off and keep the boys happy. He was a good man.
He was okay. Now, did you? I see here online you did a record with Ronnie Spector.
Yeah.
That's legendary. What was she like?
Genya, who produced the first Dead Boys record. She started a label called Polish Records, which is a joke on Polish because she was Polish, and so it was real cool. And they, but it was Polish Records. It was a real cool label. This guy Steve, it was a partner. It was real cool. I was with them for a while, and they, we couldn't find a proper place for me because I'm problematic sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And but one of the things that came up was she got asked by Ronnie to do her album. God damn, I said, who the hell? I don't even know who the hell this is. Keep bugging me.
I thought I leant on my shoulder. You were staring at me. I was like,
no. I was trying to get a piece of fuzz off there. That was exactly it. Yeah,
yeah, no, because
it's all over the internet, kids.
No, because Ronnie Spector, to me, that's like big time for me. Like
Well, it was for me too. I mean, it was Genya had this all-star band going, and she wanted. Out of all the people in New York, they asked for me and Billy Rath from the Heartbreakers.
Wow.
To play on some songs. We never knew why, but they, I know why I got in, but I don't know. Billy Rath was just, he was a good session guy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a lot of shit with Billy. Nobody's ever heard. Nobody would ever know it was us.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What can you tell me? What any sessions that
No,
you can't say?
if Billy's dead, I can. Billy's
You
dead.
so there's
I'll put
no.
it in my book.
Wow.
I'll put it in my book my next book.
So wait a second. Hold on. There's some session work out there. You and Billy, big session work that
No, not I mean, no, not talking major artists. There's just a lot of stuff around.
a lot of stuff out there. I
Yeah,
want to know.
Billy Balls was one of them. You know,
Yeah.
some of Walter's stuff, some of my stuff, some of you know, I actually was when Johnny was over in Sweden for 6 months. I was a guitar player in the Heartbreakers. You know,
Heartbreakers was so cool. You know, I
yeah, we
remember.
called ourselves the Incognitos.
Oh, right. Oh, they were so. I remember right before I moved to California, at the Limelight, it was such a rock and roll vision I could have in my head. Because back then Adam Bomb used to play the church, and then
Yeah,
sometimes
just not.
Adam
Yeah,
Bomb he would advertise that Johnny Thunders is playing to get people to come, but Johnny
yeah.
Thunders wasn't
You
playing.
never show up at it. All you
He-
got to do is say you
Thunders.
might show up.
But I
It's
remember
gonna do an
one
acoustic set. It's gonna
he
do
would
an
do an
acoustic
yes,
set.
that's
Yeah.
right. But I remember right before Johnny went to New Orleans, I saw him out of the cab. This is so rock and roll. And he had his, the coolest hair back. It was raining. He was trying to light the cigarette in the rain while somebody else was paying the cab. I'll never forget this. It was so rock and roll. And then I moved to Los Angeles, and
I
then
got so many Johnny stories.
oh, do you? He was. I
Yeah.
mean, come on. He was.
One
Yeah.
of the best ones was I had a girlfriend who lived down St. Mark's Place between like First and A, right? And calls me, Thunders calls me up and it's really want to go, listen, whatever, right? Okay, yeah, I'll be over in 10 minutes. Well, in the meanwhile, I hang up the phone. We're smelling gas in the apartment, all right? And we go out and yeah, it's in the hallway, and it seems to be coming from the apartment across from us, right? So we go look for the landlord, call the landlord, he goes call the fire department. So we call the fire department. Meanwhile, Thunders is on his way over. Comes walking in wearing a purple zoot suit. Like all his 6'4" firemen wearing all his gear. And Thunders comes walking in and goes, hey, Cheetah, what's going on? It was great. It was beautiful. So he got outside. He's like, "You got to tell me about shit like that first."
Oh my God, that is great. That is great. That's a rock and roll moment right there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
life was always like that around Thunders,
Oh, he was so talented, so
Oh, it was
talented.
great. I mean, the only thing I always wondered about is like his guitar style he had in the Dolls and still had it in the Heartbreakers, but he really gave up kind of his best licks,
Yeah.
using them, they were necessary in some of them songs. I think he just wanted to change myself, but he could always do it. I mean, he showed me how to do it.
Dude, he had, it's funny because Dee Dee used to tell me some stuff about Thunders, and he would show me licks because Dee Dee was really trying to copy Thunder's licks because he was when we were playing together, and he was really into that.
Well, Sylvain's the one got taught Thunders. You know that, right?
You know,
Sylvain and Thunders, grew up playing guitar together.
so Sylvain was the guy who kind of showed him the licks. You're saying,
Well, New York Dolls were a perfect mix where Sylvain had his style and Thunders was getting his.
yeah.
You know?
I mean, Thunder's work in the Heartbreakers, I liked it better than from the Dolls. His stuff I mean,
Yeah, I like the flashy shit.
you did.
Yeah, I like, you know, I like all that kind of crap. You know, I
You,
can still do it,
you know,
right?
I have right here. Check
It's
this out.
fun, but
Where is it? So I have it here. Oh, yeah, right here. Hold on. So check this out. When I was playing, like when I moved to New York, Arthur Kane used to come around me,
yeah,
and nicest guy in the world. So Arthur
I played
makes
on
me,
some other stuff too.
dude. I still got his business card that he gave me,
Oh, that's cool.
and so Arthur took
Oh,
a
I miss him.
he took a liking to me, and he was such a sweetheart. So I
Oh,
was
he's a
playing
real nice guy.
the
Don't get
nicest.
him drunk, but he's a real nice guy.
Well, he was sober. He was living by the Viper
Yeah.
Room. He was living right up there in Larrabee. But
Oh, yeah, this okay. This is back when he was in L.A. Okay.
this is when he was in L.A. and this is the
Okay,
early.
that's
This is
after I
night.
didn't I never saw him once he went to L.A.
This is before I met Dee Dee. And then I was working at a lingerie store. So Arthur came and he would visit me. And this is his handwriting. He made me this
Yeah,
Thunder's tribute tape with all the songs.
yeah.
And it's his version of Cold Blood. And I kept it for some. There's a couple of things I kept, and this was one of them from my journeys of moving around. But he was such a sweet guy. Somewhere there's a video of me and Arthur playing bass. A version of Pills. It's me, Arthur, Gilby Clarke, Steven Adler, and I go to Arthur.
Oh,
I go, I'll play the low, and you play the high notes. And
yeah.
I gave him my Thunderbird bass, and I don't know what the video is, but it's somewhere.
It was cool. I mean, they had this little thing together at Babs in New York. Really good song.
Yeah.
Really good songs and stuff. There was one I can't remember that. One was Passing Parade or something like that. But it was really good stuff. But I played all on it, right? But I was playing too much for Arthur. So after I worked like a week or two on it, he decided he was going to do it himself.
Oh, really?
The guitar parts. Yeah. It was like, Arthur on guitar is like, doom, 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 doom. It's like cars,
Yeah.
Well, not Elliot, but fucking Rick,
So, yeah, very like as a bass player would play. He's bar chording it very dun, dun,
Just
dun.
very, very workmanlike, but very, good. I mean, he does a great job.
Yeah.
Workmanlike was not much fun to watch, but if the song's good, who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah.
And the songs were good, and I had a good time. But oh my god! One time we came over to the studio, and I don't know if I should tell this one or not. What the fuck? It's a good one. Yeah. We're coming back from the studio, and we're coming from like 81st Street down to 27th Street, So we have to go, make a one-way street down, on Broadway between that's like 7th and 6th and Broadway. Arthur is half on the way downtown, I didn't know his tolerance was as low as it was. But we turn a corner and we're going, and all of a sudden this guy opens his fucking car door. Arthur hits it, knocks it off. The guy who was still in the car. Okay? And he goes, what do I do? What do I do? And then he hits another car. And I said, at this point, you just fucking in that car straight and go find the closest parking garage you can do. Get the fuck out of here now. At this point, that guy's not hurt. That car, but you're gonna get fucked if you get caught there.
Oh my god.
And ours is just going, and so anyway, we make it around the corner with fireplace, right on the next block, boom, cars in, boom, we walk to my place. We both sit there and shake for about a half an hour. And I we got him in a cab home. I was like, we don't want to go anywhere near that car tonight, It was like his grandmother's car or something, too. It was like, it was the whole big thing. But anyway, nothing ever came of it.
Nothing.
That's the weirdest fucking thing. Nothing.
That was it. The end of the story. Nothing ever happened. That was it. Never heard about it again.
Happened. Arthur got home safely, got his car back. I hope the poor guy got his door fixed. I mean, You know, oh, it would have been Arthur would have been in jail.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I wasn't about to let Arthur go to jail. You know,
Absolutely. Man, he was a character, but a sweet guy, man. Definitely a sweet
and
guy.
that's an outmaneuver. That's all you can do.
I remember one of the last shows we were playing at the Cat Club next to the whiskey, and then Arthur came with Frank and Fonte. They came
Oh
down
yeah,
to
this
see.
stuff right too, man.
Did you? They
Yeah,
Frank
he was at a gig last month, a couple weeks ago.
Frank's a nice guy, but he's always angry. Like, oh, I go, Frank, you want to come and jam with us? You know what I'm saying? Always mad. He always
He
like
looks
too good
mad.
to
He's
come.
not mad.
He's not mad, but he was
He
too.
looks mad.
He looks mad, you know.
What
And
do you mean?
yeah, even I go, you want to come
The
jam?
sunglasses and this.
Yeah, he just very with it.
Nah,
I think he
he's a
was angry with
sweetheart.
his girl because he had that girlfriend Dawn, the
Oh,
photographer.
he's still with her.
He's still with her.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. God bless him. I'll cut.
Oh, you
It's not
get to
going to
edit
be.
this. That's right.
That'll be cut out. Trust me. But he'd
You
always
get
just.
to edit this.
I'll edit it out. I had Chris Stein on the show, and I told him, "Yeah, Frank would always be angry," and he goes, "I know." And Chris was, you know, but it was just
It was
always
one of the loosest I've ever signed when he was playing with Iggy.
really. I
For some
tried.
reason, Iggy made him happy. I mean, it was just. That was the most I've ever seen Frank smile. He was having a good time in that band.
Oh man, I mean, playing my buddy White. You know Whitey Kirst that played
I
guitar.
met him a few times. I don't know him. You know, I mean, I was a total flat out junkie during that period of his career.
Whitey's
American Caesar, right?
yeah. Whitey played. Yeah, he played on. He played. Was this? He had. I guess the band was called the Trolls, but nobody knew that was the backup
Yeah.
for Iggy, and it was him and his brother in the band. And yeah, I ended up playing before I moved to Central
Look
Coast.
up Pete Marshall played
Pete,
with him. Pete Marshall.
yes, you're right. You're
He
right.
played with him too. Yeah, because Pete played guitar with me a bunch.
That's right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, he played. Yeah.
That's the blonde guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that
Used
guy.
to be in the Warlords and Danzig and all those.
Totally, man. You know what, man? I'm gonna tell you, if I ever come to Vegas, or anything, you and me and Eric Singer got to jam. We got to do a jam together.
Oh, let's do that.
That would be cool.
I got to take you to the Punk Museum.
I want to go. My buddy's always
It's
telling me you
fucking
need
great.
to go. Is it
It's
cool?
fucking great. You'll love it.
Because Eric's
But
always
it's
telling
really
me.
done with really seriously done in detail and with love.
Oh, dude, we got to do that. Eric's always telling me to come to his house, and we got to do that. I would love.
Vegas. I mean, I'm in Vegas right now.
You know what? I'm gonna give him your number. I'll get past him your phone number too, and then he'll give you a call.
Man.
Yeah, he'll love.
Number and, give him mine. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so
he's from Cleveland. I'd love to meet him.
I know.
I've never met him.
Dude, he remembers. He remembers
so
seeing. He remembers. He was telling me. I remember seeing them play this show and that show. And when I told you on the phone, he was naming clubs. Like he was like as a kid watching you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a huge fan.
Never knew it. I mean, I remember him being in Kiss, but I wasn't a Kiss fan after he got into. You know, I mean,
Early Kiss.
I wasn't a Kiss fan past the second album. Really.
Well, I hear you on that. Early Kiss, early Alice Cooper. There was nothing like it for that time.
All that shit was fucking, really cool stuff. But I mean, once they get overblown and pompous,
It gets so okay. So now you got right.
A money machine.
Yeah.
And anybody that has a chance to be in it should do it.
They did it. So now let's go. The Dead Boys. Now you had there's some stuff out there. You're doing something with Cleopatra, right? You got and now there's the singer. I don't even know the guy's name. I'm like, yeah, and he went on the internet stating things about AI, and he's all mad. What's the whole story? What's going on? There's a record going out? Is it old recordings of Stiv? What is it?
True story. Okay? The entire fucking truth. This is going to go viral, right?
Well,
I'm done with this shit. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay?
You got the floor. Go ahead. Go.
Yeah. Okay. I signed with Cleopatra. They approached the band about a year and a half, 2 years ago. And got to know each other. I really liked them. They're a good team. They're very organized, and they're very supportive. in the course of a couple meetings, Brian brought me an idea about doing this solo record where I thought it was supposed to be a solo album, okay? Apparently there's some discrepancy on that, but you know, it turns out I am the only dead boy on the record, except for the songs that are included as a bonus for the fans for Record Store Day, which why Jake didn't know about it because he can't keep his mouth shut for 10 seconds. Brian had an idea involving AI that I agreed to listen to. And if I didn't like it, we weren't going to do it, you know? And like I said, what the idea was, it was, you know, because it didn't happen because Brian didn't like it. He tried it, he tried his idea, he didn't like it. He wanted it off the record. Okay? That part of the record is now AI free. All the shit I did with Glenn, Clem, James, Michael, no AI on any of it. It's all fucking us live in the fucking studio. And different studios, but we all did our shit to the tracks. And shit, can I redo that part?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody, me, Clem, Glenn, one more time. Me, Clem, Glenn, Michael, and James on all these songs recorded in different studios, but you know, we're miles apart.
Yeah.
Finland's a long way from Hawaii. That's where James lives. You know, and I'm in Vegas, and you know, cost effective.
Yeah.
But no AI is on that at all. In the meantime, Kirk Yano, who's one of me and Stu's oldest and dearest friends from Cleveland, who owned a recording studio called After Dark. And me and him always say we grew up in different bands together. You know, because we played in cover bands doing fucking Doobie Brothers songs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when we were doing the rehearsals for the second album. Okay, we rehearsed in his studio, but we kept it. We didn't set up to record. We set up to rehearse. We got 2 mics for reference tracks in case we had an idea we wanted to keep or something. But it was just for ideas. It wasn't being recorded for production. You know. We found a tape in there, and it's the only Dead Boy song that nobody's ever heard that's unreleased. And since we were rehearsing for the record, it's a really good fucking take of it. I mean, if we mixed the whole thing, it would be probably a great single. We didn't do that. What we did do using AI was recover Stive's vocal, which was buried in the mix and unusable otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Take it, isolate it, clean it, and put it back in the mix. That was it. His performance was not touched. The original guy that recorded the tape did the AI. That's how much care we took to fucking make sure no fuckery was involved. You know, Cleopatra's got their fucking reputation for this shit. We don't. Jake was kept in the dark because he was fucking drunk. And I was ready to fire him fucking February after we got in a fight on the fucking European tour. I've been hoping he'd fucking come around, but he didn't. Said he fucking up to the end of the 2 bottles a day, as James says, you know? And he gave me an ultimatum before the tour because Jake heard about the AI, all right? And he just flipped out, knee-jerk reaction, and calls Brian all fucked up and calling him a liar and they're lying. I mean, all this. I mean, Brian was so pissed off he didn't talk to me for 3 months. The whole 3 months, Jake's nagging me, what's going on with this? And I'm like, well, Brian's not taking my calls because you pissed him off. And finally he goes, gives me an ultimatum. Well, I want this settled, you know? And it's like, Jake's a little bitch with this like that. Drama queen. Broke number one, first dead boy rule. Don't be a diva.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why. I mean, I was already fucking ready to fight Kane's ass anyway. And he's probably be surprised to hear that, but he knew it.
He saw it coming.
You'd be surprised to hear me say it, but it's the truth. And anyway, so basically, we've had to keep him in the dark about everything because he's always drunk, always wants a fight, always wants an argument, always wants his way. This is narcissistic bullshit that I don't need. I got a band to run here. I've been doing it 50 years. I think I know it a little bit better than you. You know? And so gave me an ultimatum. And I said, give me through the holidays to talk to Brian. Brian finally called me the week before the tour. I said, give me a week to talk to Brian. You know? No, it has to be his dad. Give me the ultimatum. Fuck you, you know? I fired better people than you, you know? And he claimed, you could think he quit. He was on his way out, you know? And that's just the truth. It's not, just sour grapes and lack of knowledge and speaking before you know what the fuck you're talking about. That's what's going on, you know? But I'm getting all shit for it.
Well, the drama is online because he's doing posts about all this and riling people up.
We talked to some lawyers about that. Not on my end, but
yeah.
Some people are real pissed at Jay because that's the second time he's fucked up with them.
It's like you don't add a family drama online. You keep it between the family. That's the way it should be because the band's a family.
Exactly. I mean, he's the one that wants arguing about punk credibility. The guy's from a fucking rich family with a rich wife and fucking owns his own business. He's bitching me about fucking punk credibility. I think not.
No.
I'll win that one.
I know you will. I saw you walking in the street back in the day, so I was scared. So trust. I know you will. It's a different.
Scary. Come on.
Oh, I know you're not that scary, but but the punk thing, it's a whole different.
Son, you gotta represent.
The whole.
You gotta remember, I wasn't just a rock and roll. I was also a junkie.
I know. I know.
So I had to watch my ass all the time on the streets.
It was a different world for people when they use that word punk, and like you have a guy who, like you just said, who comes from a rich family. They don't really know what the real punk world is like a Cheetah Chrome or a Dee Dee Ramone or that world. It's a different world. It's a different world, and now you're a calm guy version of what you used to be, but you still have the edge, but you're more up here together than when you're younger. When you're younger, you don't think about the cholesterol and all that stuff. As when we get older.
I didn't think I was going to live. I never thought I was going to live another year most of my fucking life up until I was 40.
So now the Dead Boys situation, because you want to still go play and everything. Who would be singing for you guys now if you do any shows? What's going on with that?
To be honest, I want to think long and hard about if I even want to fucking sing anymore, or if I even want to keep the Dead Boys going.
Really?
I mean, I can sing. I've been doing my solo thing for fucking years. Got albums out. I tour solo in Europe and here. I mean, it's not that big of a difference for me. I keep the same guys call it Cheetah Chrome Band. I doubt we could lose 10 tickets.
You could still go out, do your thing.
But the Dead Boys' name needs to be laid to rest officially. I would like to see it go out in style. So this will probably be the last year that I'll be doing anything with the Dead Boys. I'm gonna try a couple. I need to think about it yet, but I've got some real good people already interested. People that might surprise a lot of motherfuckers. So, and we do 2 week tour here, 2 week tour there, 2 week tour there. Good night, curtain down, you know. And I'm ready to be done with it. That's been a shit covered albatross around my neck for so many years, you know.
Yeah, yeah, it gets there. I mean, you could go out and do your own thing because people want to see you, and you could tell your songs with your story and just do it.
I don't need more. I've got a really great band of people. This is the best band I've ever played with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they're all still with me. You know, and what we call it really doesn't fucking matter to me at this point.
No.
You know, and so we're gonna stay together, and it'll be Cheetah Chrome, or it'll be, I don't know, Cheetah Chrome's Dead Boy. I don't know what the fuck it'll be. You know, but we. I want to retire the name Dead Boys at the end of this year, and just move forward, because it's, it took me 40 years to find a singer I trusted enough to take Stu's place, and that was Jake. And look at where it got me.
Yeah, look where it got you.
Fucking back, I don't think I want another singer. I gotta think about it.
Yeah. All right. Before we get out of here, because I got to run before I get in trouble. But I got to ask you, when you heard about Stiv's passing, what went through your head when you heard about the news?
You never read my book, did you?
I didn't read it. No.
It's the whole first chapter.
Is it the whole first chapter? Oh, I gotta get it. I gotta look at this.
I'm not gonna tell you now.
You're not gonna tell me.
All right, now I'm gonna. Hey, it's out in the books, man.
Okay, I'm gonna go get the book. I'll get it on Amazon. I'll read it.
That was my test chapter to get the book to.
Really, this did.
It's a story you learned about Stiv dying. Yeah.
Now there's rumors. I got to clarify this with me. Stiv, like, is he buried, or his ashes in where Jim Morrison's is? And that did they
Some of them?
That is true. Did they put his ashes on Morrison's grave?
I'm not really at liberty to say, but
God, Cheetah, like come on, give me something
like that.
All right, but so his ashes are spread on Morrison's grave.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And some, I had a grandma Stiv for a while.
You did?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this.
I let it go someplace.
Okay, let's do this. Before I get in trouble, let's do a part 2. We'll do a part 2. I'm going to call you anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get the book so I could read this, and then you're going to answer me. I'm going to show you. If I buy, hold on, you look great. Hold on. If I buy the book, I want the money to go to you. So, is there online I could buy the book from you directly?
It is out of print, very hard to find.
Okay,
it's online, but I'm working my best to get it back in print, and I also am about to start writing another one.
Okay, so we'll talk about this.
It's gonna be Cheetah Chrome, Dead Boy's Tale. A wreck in progress.
There's too many. You got so many stories. You probably didn't put it all in the book, too. I could tell.
There's no way I could.
There's no way. There's no way. Okay, Cheetah, let me run out of here. I'll call you later anyway. We'll chat. Thank you for making this time. I don't want to get divorced, else I'm taking a plane. I'll be living with you. So, okay, everybody. Right, Cheetah Chrome in the hot seat. Dude, you too, my man. I'll give you a call later anyway. Thank you for making this happen. I'll edit it, make it look good. Everybody else, that is Cheetah Chrome. Click here, click there for our next episode. Until then, who loves you, baby? We do. We'll catch you all later. Bye-bye. Bam.